Well, hello and welcome to another video in the tutorial series using old source code. In the last video I showed you how to get OpenGL from the book OpenGL Game Programming by Kevin Hawkins and David Astle. Probably the first edition. Code's dated somewhere in the 2000. Uses some depreciated OpenGL stuff, but I showed you how to get it up and running in code blocks. In this video I'm going to show you how to get up and running in Visual Studio 2010. The instructions will be similar in some ways to Visual Studio 2008, but I'll do a separate video in 2008 afterwards. In this video I'm going to do a few things differently. I'm also going to send out kind of, not really an apology, because I don't think I really did anything worth apologizing for, but I think I left kind of a bad impression about Stack Overflow, because every time I've gone there to ask a question, I've just always had my thread closed, but I think what they're trying to do there is they want specific coding type questions. And I have to admit that when I have a specific coding error in my Visual Studio error list, I can Google that, and Stack Overflow is right there at the top of the list, and usually I find an answer. So I need to let it be known that they are a good site. I do appreciate them for that. I don't know about asking questions there unless it's specific, but because I don't like subjective questions, but it is a good resource for finding solutions to problems. There's a lot of good people there answering questions, so just wanted to make sure I let that be known. And this time I'm going to show you, pardon me, some of these websites here that I found answers at, and that way they get proper credit. Right now you're looking at my support page for using old source code, and notice the link has now changed. If you found this from before, it was using old DirectX code. Now it's using old source code because we're including OpenGL. And here you'll find all the videos except for the one I'm doing right this second, although it'll probably be there by the time you watch this. And you'll find links, and I don't know why it's all messed up like this. I fixed it and I fixed it and I fixed it again, and it just keeps. So I gotta go through and deal with that later. And down here you'll find your copy paste stuff. Okay, to quickly recap, as this takes off of the last video, and I expect you to have watched the last video and have set up OpenGL some way on your system. To recap the way that I set up OpenGL, I downloaded, as I showed you in the last video, I'm not going to do it again here, the unofficial OpenGL SDK. It's called GL SDK. I extracted that into over in here. And I changed the name to OpenGL SDK just to keep it in my mind straight so it matches DirectX. And then I took all of the stuff that was in each of these folders, not all of them, but just about all of them, had include directories, and then they had another directory, and they had all their stuff in there. I took it all and combined it into one big, massive main include directory. And I did the same for library. In addition, I downloaded the GL files package. Again, link is in the last video, the one covering code blocks. I took that and actually, I'll go ahead and show you these links if it'll let me load them. I think I have it right here. Because you may not actually want to spend the time going, although you should, to the last video, so I'll open up both of these if it lets me. Alright, so here's where you get the unofficial OpenGL software kit, GL SDK SourceForge. And here's where you get those files. If this link or the other one goes down, I'll put a link up with the files on my site. You want this because these are the old depreciated OpenGL files. And as I said in the last video, because you're using old depreciated code, at some point another part will have to be done to these videos so that you can see how to do it with current code. And I'll probably apply to DirectX as well, because you gotta learn how to do the 2D stuff through Direct 3D. Anyway, and this is in my code blog and then all this stuff. If these links go down, let me know. Comment on this page here, and or I'll have a forums link at some point, or comment on my YouTube video, and I will go through and I will fix that. Anyway, I took those files and I extracted them into the lib and include directories, which are down here, and that added, well, I don't think I can show you here, but I can show you here. No. Wrong. That added these weird ones here, these lib files. I also added this DLL thing, and then we have these three. You gotta make sure these are in your C, Windows System 32. Once again, I will make it clear that I'm using Windows XP SP3. I'm using the Visual Studio June 2010, Visual Studio Express 2010, Visual Studio Express 2008, C++ for both versions, using code blocks, and I am using the DirectX SDK from 2009 and the DirectX runtime from 2009. Alright, DirectX SDK 2010 and the DirectX runtime 2010 from June. So that's the system that this is running on, and that is my focus right now, is on Windows XP and not on Windows 7 or Windows 8 or Vista. So you're on your own there, I'm sorry. The instructions that you'll see next in Visual Studio 2008 should apply to Visual Studio 2005. Visual Studio 2010 is different, and as I assume 2012 is also different. So you're on your own if you're using Visual Studio 2012. Alright, that said, so I have the file, the project already built here. We'll go over the steps now that I've already built it and run it, but I want to run it really quick if it won't grind the computer to a halt, and let you see that it is working. I don't know how it'll capture, but there you go. You got a floating OpenGL cube. Click the X to exit. So all you need to do is, you'll get to your start page. You won't have to go this route necessarily, but we'll go this route. I don't think I have the start page in Residence. No. I might be able to get it. There we go. Start page. So you want a new project. You're going to do a Win32 console application and call it Chapter 1. And I'm just going to do test, because I'm not going to go all the way through this, because I already have it here. Oh. Excuse me. Call it test 2. You would call yours chapter 1, not test 2. Lowercase letters, all one, no spaces, all one thing. If this grinds too much, I will stop it and come back in after it loads. I've had that problem lately with this system. I can't figure out why it's acting like this right now, so. But that's a quick and dirty solution. I just append all the videos together. Okay, I'll be right back shortly. In future videos, I probably will not announce that I've left or come back, because you really can't tell unless you're looking at the clock down the corner. So I'm going to next. You want console and you want empty project. That's very important to check that. And then you click finish. I won't do that, but you will click finish. I'm not actually creating a project because I already have a project. And apparently I've lost it, so now I need to get it back. Did it load up another instance? Oh, no, only one window. Okay. Alright, so you won't have all this stuff. What you'll see is just these folders, and what you're going to do is you're going to go to right click on the chapter 1 in bold here and go to add and add a new item. Excuse me. Okay, I have an old cat that I'm watching, and she's been having grand mal seizures, and I have her up here to keep an eye on her when she has one of those, so I can kind of gently hold her in place and talk to her until she gets through it. I'm watching her now while I do this, so she just got through a real bad one. Right click on the name of the project, which is chapter 1, and you want to go to add, and you want to go to new item. We're going to add 2 items. We're going to add a C++ file, which will be called chapter 1. I will not press finish because I already have it. You will press finish, or add in this case. So you'll do chapter 1, then add. I'm not, because I have it. And then what we're going to do is, the source code for this, as I showed you in the last video, and I will really quickly show you here, before I forget. I'm assuming that you already have the source code for your book extracted and ready to go. And I should be clear that we are working through that book that I just mentioned earlier, the OpenGL Game Programming by Kevin Hawkins and Dave Astle. The site is glbook.gamedev and all of this stuff, and you can get OpenGL Game Programming code by going here, and then going to errata, and then cd source. I'm going to close these now, but you want each of these, and you want to extract them into their own folders, and then we'll be referring to those folders as we go through the video. And so over here I have source, which has all of the zip files, and these are all the extracted files, and I have chapter 1. And we're going to take this and we're going to right click on it. Now I'm not going to go through all this because it's already open for me. Open with Notepad. You don't want to open with anything else. And you'll do the same for this one. Open with Notepad. You don't want to check anything so that it constantly opens the file. Make sure that that's not checked if you have to browse. You might need to go to File, Open, and then browse to it. I do expect you to be an intermediate level computer user, so you should know these things. Oh, okay, we'll just open up the project. Okay, she's looking at the litter box. Can't tell what she's doing yet. Anyway, you might need to do that and then select Notepad and make sure you don't check the box. You don't want to open all your programs with that. So, anyway, once they're both open, you'll have this. And you just go to Edit, Select All, or Control A might work. I'm not going to guarantee that. And now select all there, and then go to Edit, Copy. Now, alternatively, it might be Control A and Control C, but I'm not guaranteeing it. Let me see. Okay, Control A, Control C. Whichever way you want to do it, take chapter 1, which is one we just did. And you'll want to take that, and it'll be in your source files, and it'll be open just like this, only it will be blank. It won't have all this stuff in it. And it'll have a cursor up at the top corner, and you just press Control V or Edit Paste, and it'll paste it in. And then that's done. And you can save it at that point if you wish. That's the Save All button there. Next one, we want to add a file. We don't want to add the existing ones, because if we did that, we'd be altering the existing code, and the whole other purpose of this is to do as few alterations to the existing code as possible. So, new item, and this will be a header file or .h, and you'll type in hi, uppercase h, lowercase I, uppercase r, es, lowercase es, uppercase t, and then lowercase imer. So high-res timer.h, just like it shows here. And then again, select all, and then copy it. And I'm going to go get the cat because she's acting funny. And then you'll type in the name here, so high-res timer, and then you'll press add. I'm going to press cancel. I already have it. It'll load up this. be blank. At the top there'll be a cursor. Go to edit paste. I'll paste it in and save it. I'll be right back. Alright, so you do that and then save it. And then, I don't know why I have, oh, okay, it opened it because I said open, alright. So you won't have that one. Come on now, close. Alright, now, you will add one existing item, but you'll copy and paste it over. So you're going to copy this OpenGL bitmap, and you're going to find out, usually it's in My Documents, where your Visual Studio 2008 projects, 2010 in this case, projects. There'll be a Chapter 1 folder, and then there'll be a Chapter 1 folder, and you'll paste it in here. So you're going to take this OpenGL bitmap and copy and paste it over here. And then you'll go ahead and go over here and go to add, in this case, existing item. It'll show up that folder that I just showed you, and then just click on OpenGL bitmap. Then you know you're in the right place because it's Chapter 1 instead of, I think this one's CH01. So I won't do it because I already have it added. And then it'll show up here in resource. And then when you're all done, you should see this kind of setup. Alright, we're not done yet. We've got some configuration to do. If we tried to compile and run it, it would tell us what the blanker you think you're doing. I don't know what you're talking about. We got to right click in here on the project name. We got to go to properties. And we've got to change a few things. And I've tested this because I went through trying to change as few things as I could in the IDE. And I Googled every time I found an error. So one of the errors I got was this one from Stack Overflow. I got a link here, 5480588. I got this thing, and I read down, and because it was trying to load I guess the bitmap, and this has to do with the settings. I'll show you here in a minute, where between Unicode and multibyte as we discussed in the previous videos. And then this one, at OpenGL forms, error link 201, we had an unresolved symbol. Well, I figured out why that was, and I'll show you both of these here right now. So, first place we have to go is the VC++ directories. Very first place we have to go. And you want to go to the include directories, and that's where the include folder that you have in your OpenGL is. Or, if you did not do like I did, if, for example, you left everything from the unofficial OpenGL SDK alone, you'll have inside of here, you'll have an include folder. You'll go to that include folder, there'll be a GL, which is probably why they had the GL/, now that I think about it. That's probably how it was normally put together for OpenGL. I don't know why they chose to do it differently. So you have a include and then a GL folder. Wandering cat again. Okay, hold on a minute. She's acting like bathroom time. I'm beginning to think I didn't pick the best time to try to do this tutorial. Okay, where was I at? Okay, so there'll be an include in a GL folder. But you'll have it for like probably 90% of these. You'll have to add the paths to each and every one of them. Or if you do it like I did, just throw it all in the include folder and it's all there and you don't have to deal with it. But that means you have to add the code a little bit at the top of the include stuff. That makes sense. Now I understand why that was there. So that's what goes in here, your include directories. Go to edit. And just, this one will be, it should be blank in here, but if you have stuff, go to the next blank line or click new. It doesn't matter which way. Or you double click in a blank line. And then it already opened the browse thing for me. So all you have to do, well, come on. Do I look like I want to sit here all day? Alright, so and for me it'll be just the one include. For you it'll be, if you leave it that way, it'll be the GL whatever then they include, then the GL, and they'll add that, and the next one, the next one. They have them all add. You have to add every include library. For me, it's just this one. That's what I have. You need those. Oh, never mind. Don't do it yet. Press cancel. I always have to change this all the time. You want to do it for all configurations. Alright, and then go to VC++ directories. Make sure that all configurations is done. And then go here and go to edit. And now click on a blank line or new or whatever. And then you browse to your include directories and you add each one. I won't do it because I already have it added. And you do the same thing for your library directories. Go to edit. And you go to the next blank space, you click on new. And then in your install directory, and this computer is, I love this computer, it's awesome. I'm not going to think any negative thoughts about it at all. Okay, anyway. So that'll be in your lib directories. So you want to include every one of your lib directories. Some might be in these folders, I don't remember. Yeah, there'll be some, I think there's like 2 folders that had libs. And you want to do all of those, all lib folders. And any subfolders. You don't want to do just the main lib folder. If there's a subfolder, that's probably where the stuff is. So you got to do it that way. In my case, I just have it off in one folder, just lib, and I left this alone where it is. Okay, I take that back. Do not include the subfolders with lib. Just include the main lib folder. Because I didn't include these subfolders and it's working fine for me, so why would I have you do that? So don't do that. Just do the main one. Just select the main ones. In my case, it's just this one. In your case, it might be a couple if you decide to leave it, or however you decide to put your OpenGL together. It's up to you. You're not really installing it like the DirectX thing, so you can have a choice how you configure it. So, main directories. Press OK. I'm pressing cancel because it's already added. Alright, that's done. Now, in linker, under system, this needs to be console. I think in the DirectX stuff it had to be Windows. In this case, so far, it has to be console. That might change later. Remember where this is under system. Now I gotta remember where my other. Okay, under input and additional dependencies, that's where you can use my site. And this is where you'll do it for DirectX as well. Go to the site, select these items, Control C, come over here, and this will be blank, or it'll have stuff in it or whatever. Go to the nearest blank space or the bottom of the list or wherever you can go and press Control V, and it'll add them. And then press OK. I won't because I already have them added. Now it'll include those. You need that, or else you're going to get some other errors. It'll be, can't remember the name of it, some kind of unresolved, it's like a link error or something, unresolved external dependency or whatever. So you got to have that there. And then there's one more, and I have to figure out where it was. This cannot be Unicode. It has to be multi-byte, or you'll get another error. So keep this at multi-byte, and I think that's the same as the DirectX. When everything's done, press apply, and then OK. I can't do it because it's already done. I haven't made any changes. But you'll press apply, and then OK. I'm pressing cancel. It might grind a little and try to save stuff. After it's done, press save. And now if you try to compile it and run it, you're going to get some errors, and it's going to crash on a couple of things here. Further down in the program, why is it not in here? I put it here a second ago. Oh, this is the other one. Okay, so it closed the wrong one. Okay, well, here's what I do. Well, actually, that would have been good, but oh well. Darn it. Excuse me a minute. I'm going to do this. Open. That'll be good because I can actually show you the color area there of it, the two of them. Okay. So this is what you will see. A GL, GLOX, GL, GLUT. And IOStream H. And you're going to want to change that to glocks, glet, and IOStream. Leave the H's on these, take the H off of this one. Get rid of the GLs here. Unless you have kept it with the unofficial library format, or you have some other old package and you have an include and then a GL folder and then the H files inside of it, or C files, or whatever the header files might be. If that's what you happen to have, then you'll want the GL there. You'll know because you'll get an error message. It won't be able to find the directory. So try this if you did it the way I did it, and do GL if you left it or have it some other format, because apparently GL/ is how they used to do the directories for OpenGL. It would be really nice if OpenGL would create a properly set up release with nice little library files and a lib directory and include files and an include directory, but I guess that's too much to ask. Anyway, so when you're all done, you're going to want to save it. And you also want to add this using namespace std. They left it out. I don't know why they did, because they got a CIN down here. And the rule is, when you're doing this and you're going to do an out, if you don't have using namespace, you're supposed to do std something like this. And that may not be the right operator for it, but or cout. I can't remember which way it works with the arrows, but it's supposed to look like that. But what they have done is they just have cout. But they don't have this. There's no using namespace. So this errors out because it doesn't know anything about what cout is. You have to have the std for it to know that. That's why normally you'd have the std there. I think this means is a relationship thing. So for some reason they forgot it. You have to add it. And once that's added, it should compile and run. And if you have any questions or problems, you can make a video comment or a normal comment at YouTube, or you can go to the support site and put a comment. Various ways to contact me, and I'll have a forums up eventually. I'm going to go get my little friend some food. I think she wants to chomp on something. Anyway, so when you run it, it should run as I showed you earlier. I can't think if there was anything else. I don't believe there was. So that concludes this video, and in the next one we will work on Microsoft Visual Studio Express 2008. See you then.